Good morning, good day, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your today's entertainment, DrTorment. To anyone new here, I am a horror narrator that does a little bit of everything on the channel. And to anyone that already knows me, I don't need to introduce myself again. How have you all been? It's been a minute since I've done one of these. I think last time was with Jinxie's birthday. We had a fun time, about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Can't really... Yeah, I think it was around that time. Had a lot of fun, played a lot of games. And I see the chat is already quite active. Nice, I like seeing this. Okie dokie, let's see who's already here then. Don't be stupid with me, laptop. Let's have a look-see. I see Cindy had already arrived, and Ash as well. Hello, hello. A lovely moderator, Jinxie, who has abused the Q&A system and sent me about 20 different questions, about more than half of which I cannot answer at all without breaking YouTube's TOS. So much fun. But I will be addressing them in a bit. So to anyone that is new, or not even new, if you haven't noticed, I already put up a Q&A in the chat. Feel free to use it, ask me any questions that comes to mind within reason. Looking forward to it. Always looking forward to it. Hell, it may even be narration suggestions, or something I've read already. Doesn't really matter. Whatever floats your boat. Let's see, Nat, hello. Nat. I need to reply with the Tormy here. Our substitute for Lady Spookaria, Nat the Unordinary. A fellow Canadian just like our good old fairy modder Jinxie. Natty. Oh, I'm gonna use that one. Hasa Jen, hello, hello, welcome. One of my Patreon supporters. How have you been, Jen? Still busy? Also, you bought sparkling meat, Jinxie. I'll allow it. It's meat. You can do whatever you want with that. Hello, Taroxa. You have joined us well. How have you been? How are you? How's the project coming along? I'm not going to read out loud what you said there because YouTube is still being iffy with innuendos and all that. Give it a few more minutes and I may even play along, but not yet. We're still in the start of the stream. Marty, hello, welcome, welcome. Also, Babes Mariba, hello, welcome as well. How have you been, Babes? I see Ash is pushing through live while listening to her favorite narrating people on the YouTube and Spotify, including myself. Oh, thank you, Nat. Thank you, Ash. Thank you very much. Work is ridiculous, says Jen. Yeah, I can imagine. I can relate, actually. My own work situation is a little unpredictable with the hours at this point, but I'm managing. Nat is going to create ART during the streamy stream. Marvelous. I have no idea what that is an abbreviation for, but I will not ask. I will regret it. I know this already. No, I'm kidding. I know she means art. No. Ash says, of course, DrTorment. I love it so much. Well, glad to see that you love it, Ash. Glad to see that you love it. So, as I said, it's been a minute since I've been on one of these. It's not really that detriment that I need to find my way around again, but yeah, it's... I'm not saying it's not weird being back on a stream again. It's not weird. It's just been a while. I'm just gonna ease myself into this one. So there's not gonna be anything wacky besides maybe the kitty cat chaos, which will always endure. I'm expecting it any moment now. And of course the mosquito needs to make an entrance. Hello. Stay away from me. I will flatten you. You were warned. Everybody, please rest in peace for Mr. Mosquito. They fought valiantly to distract me and annoy me. A moment of silence. While you do the moment of silence, I am going to have a celebratory drink of the grape juice. Family-friendly grape juice, of course. There we go. Not the unordinary. That impact, Santa. Well, it was just me doing a little clap, but, you know, glad to see it's appreciated. Jinxie, don't worry, everyone. It's just water. Yes, yes, I'm drinking water. I'm drinking water. Yes, of course, very refreshing. As one should. Very important to drink water, kids. Stay hydrated and all that. Whatever I'm putting in the chat is certainly not what I'm drinking, of course. No, 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 no. That would be inappropriate. No, no, no. I'm drinking water that maybe has a bit of grape in it. Sure, but not the actual stuff. I'm not a monster. Jeez. Ash goes, it's the female mosquitoes that bite us humans. Yeah, well, annoyed me, paid the price. Moment of silence, rest in peace. There you go. That's it. Oh, finally, somebody else besides Jinxie that has asked me a question. Wonderful. Let's see. I'm going to start with one of Jinxie's questions in the Q&A here. Once again, she has given me about 15 or 20 questions. I'm not going to do all of them. How many questions is too many questions? Well, I would say 3, like I said on Discord, but... yes, well, multiplied by 10, you definitely get in the neighborhood, sure. Let's see. Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? Only one survives. Which is it and why? That is a good one. So is this like a versus thing or more in my opinion thing, Jinxie, about Lord of the Rings and Star Wars? Because I do make a difference there, because obviously if it is a versus thing, Star Wars kinda wins, you know, with planet-destroying weapons and all that. But, personal opinion, I'm going for Lord of the Rings. Because now that I come think of it, it has survived up until now without any major deviations or drama besides the Hobbit movies, including Toriel, that red-haired character. Well, Star Wars is already getting very, very dated since ever Disney took it over, so I'm going to say it's Lord of the Rings that will survive. They're still doing just fine. Let's go back to the questions. Babes Mariba asks me, are you a doctor of solely Torment, or do you specialize in an additional field as well? I'd say it's a bit of a jack of all trades situation, really. Psychological, physical, you name it. If I don't know about it, I'll endeavor to learn about it. So don't worry, I'm going to keep all of you very, very satisfied. Also, Marty, yes, I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking. Like I said, a little bit hectic with work. Don't really know any given hour. That's going to be a little bit too personal. Let's just say that my work schedule isn't what it used to be. A little more unpredictable, like I said before. But going through it. And reeling from some personal issues that has happened in July, towards the end of July. Still reeling from that. It was quite the impact. But surely and slowly getting back into it. Jinxie, quack of all aids. You are being cheeky today, aren't you? You are being very cheeky today, Jinxie. My, my, my. Let's see here, what else did I want to address? So I am working on narrating a Patreon and channel member exclusive story that I have written myself. 1/3 of it is already done recording. I just have to do the other 2 pages, and it should be up for editing very, very soon. As for now, up until I think the end of September, I will be focusing a little bit more on dark poetry and shorts. This is mainly because I need to buy myself some more time to actually go ahead and make more story content as it is. The one thing I absolutely suck at is time management and bulk recording. The thing is, when I have the time for it, I just cannot bring myself into recording, and when I don't have the time for it, I have all the energy to do it, but I'm just not at my desk to do so. It's quite a stupid situation that I have to navigate through, but I'm quite sure that I can manage in a due time. It's a skill that you have to learn. Babes Mary about Dr. Whole Enchilada. You better believe it, yeah. Also enchilada, that has been a long time. Ooh, I'm getting hungry again. Nat the Unordinary. Tommy, would you rather boob a vampire or a horse? Boob a vampire or boob a horse? Like, alright, where exactly? On the snoot? Because I can boob a vampire on the snoot. I've done so with horses already, so vampires is an entirely new experience. I'd actually like that. Yes, Jinxie, you should make some enchiladas and give it to us. Like, hand them out. Hand them out to us, Jinxie. We'd love some enchiladas. If I'm being a little quiet, I'm also looking for stuff to read out during the live stream. Not for right now, but a little later, of course. Here's one from William C. It's been a while. Yes, in a bit. Yes, I'm gonna keep this one open for later. Babes marry about boob a vampire on the tooth. Yes, absolutely. Especially if that vampire is Lestat. And I don't mean from the new series, from the 1999 movie. Thank you very much. Cindy says, I'm baking chicken, so up and down checking on dinner. That's fine, Cindy. That's fine. Just don't let me distract you at all. Make sure your chicken is well prepared and do not burn anything in the kitchen. Do not let me distract you. Jinxie says, you wish you could eat my delicious cooking. I don't know, it's still Canadian cooking, so, you know, half of it is still, like, French-inspired. Ah, yes, grape water. Good. Also, Marty, I think I've missed something there, but what's that about volcanoes I saw you mention in the chat? I feel like I've missed something. Oh. No, I found it. Never mind. Jinx is saying, you know what else is active? Volcanoes. Oh, I got it. I got it. Babes Mariba with cooking advice. Not too well prepared chicken is best a little pig. A little pig. Yeah, see, here's the thing. I don't want my this is just something personal for me, so do not crucify me over this, but I prefer my chicken not pink at all. Like, or my paranoia flares are going up all the time. Like, there was this one time I ate chicken that was still, like, reddish on the inside. And, yeah, you better believe that I was sick I was sick for the rest of the day. And not in a good way. Not in a good, sick way at all. My god, I'm not gonna go into details about about certain stuff trying to escape my body, but, ooh. No, that was a bad day. So no pink chicken, thank you very much. Oh, what is this? That said, what was I already said it about the exclusive, didn't I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And short as well, poetic narrations as well. I think I've addressed most of the stuff that has been plaguing the channel as of late. Besides my own horrendous time schedule and personal issues. Yes, I think we've addressed everything. So, back to the stream then. Once again, I still have a Q&A up, and if for the keen-eyed among you, I've also set up a goal. This is something that is quite new. I have no idea how to manage these things. So basically, a goal is something that you can put in the chat. People can give a super chat for those. And I've made it so that, well, the goal for the goal description or whatever that is, says, I love you, and we'll take a short horror poetic reading of your own choosing. So everybody that does a super chat gets to choose what I'm going to read, either today or another day. I'll keep notes, don't you worry. Feel like it's only fair. Oh, Jesus Christ. I was joking. Not really, no, I do mean it. Yeah, oh. Happy 1-year anniversary for Lulu. Welcome, welcome. Happy 1-year anniversary for Lulu. Wait, is this wait, is this like an anniversary in a relationship? Oh, member! You're a member for over a year. Oh my God, time goes by fast. Wow, Jesus, I should really keep track of this. My God, congratulations, Lulu. Congratulations. 1 year being a solid supporter of the asylum. And Jinxie has kickstarted the goal thing with. Oh, Christopher, oh, I hate you so much. I hate you. Oh, one of my best friends on the internet, but I hate you so much. Creamy carbonara. There. Happy? $13 on September 1st. My. Really, time really did fly by. My god, it's been a year already. I hope you haven't had any regrets since joining up as a channel member. And if so, by all means, I do take criticism very well. So yes, as Jinxie has demonstrated, that is basically how it works. Now the goal has a little 1 out of 10 ticks, which is all fine and dandy. And indeed, Jinxie, it is 11 PM, just as my bell tower at the end of the street is notifying me. Stupid bell tower. But what I actually meant with it was you can give me a suggestion of a text you like say a short creepypasta, for example, something like that, or something that is, what's it called again? Legal to read. I've forgotten the term for it. Never mind. You know what I mean. Not copyrighted. That's the one. Not copyrighted for me to read, or a creepypasta that's good to read. Just short, or a poetic reading. Instead of Jinxie's insistence of torturing me with pasta recipes with too much cream in them. No, babes. You do not put the poem in the super chat. You just put in the title and the author, and I'll have a look for it myself. Don't you worry. And Nat is a month away from being 20 years old. Nat is almost geriatric. Isn't that fantastic, ladies and gentlemen? It is just fantastic. Wait, Lulu, you've been disappointed? Not just disappointed, but totally disappointed. Lulu! Why? What have I ever done to you, Lulu? Oh, what? Well, I suppose I should up my ante. I mean, I am a one-man team, but still. Sure, why not? That reminds me, Lulu. Could you, in a private message, send me the date of your birthday? Just so that I can prepare a little something, since you are a channel member. Jinxie is familiar with this. So I did make a little thing for Jinxie's daughter, which is on the channel. It's just only visible for channel members. So I made a little birthday poem for Jinxie's daughter a long while ago. So I'm thinking maybe, Lulu, since you have been a loyal member for about a year and your birthday is coming up, might as well do something like that for you. No promises that it will actually come out on the same day, but I will endeavor to at least have it around the same week. Yes. Oh, good, Lulu was just messing. Whew, I was almost having a heart attack in this black hole I call a heart. But all is fine. I'll do a little search. Let's see, because I also seem to remember I also got a slew of poetry and stories from a certain Nicholas Leonard, whose whose work I have featured on the channel twice now. The Dove Grey Mask and the Curse of Queen Euphonius, I believe it was. Yes. Marvelous, marvelous writing on his part. Heavily inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. If you haven't watched those already, feel free to watch them on the channel. After the live stream, of course. And that's it. Let me actually put up his repertoire on my screen. Maybe it's a little something I can work with here. Oh gosh, all these notifications, jeez. There we go. Which also reminds me that I should also work on some of his stories. Oh, the poor lad has been waiting so long for me to do another one of his works. What is this? Those could work. I have to read up and chat a little bit. I think I missed a few things. Lulu, how are the three minxes? Oh, they are doing just fine. Just fine. Lilith is judging me from across the room, staring intently at me, basically telling me to refill a food bowl, but, well, there are 3 food bowls who are both filled to the brim, so I have no idea why the hell she's staring at me like this. Yes, I'm talking about you. One of her daughters is sitting on the couch right now, who takes offense that I've turned from my chair. My God. Lady, please, I'm trying to explain to the people that you're sleeping over there. Forgive me. And then the, where is she? She's probably upstairs. So then the other attention princess is basically upstairs. Lulu also says, I want to do a re-listen of Dracula. Yes, about Dracula. So I only have 2 chapters done. And we are almost... Well, we are about... Almost at the 9-month... we are almost 9 months since chapter 1 was even released. Wow. So my original idea for Dracula was that I basically did 1 chapter per month. But, you know, stuff happens. It became a detriment to several things I was trying to run, and well, I had to dial it back a bit. It's all fun and games to have all these amazing ideas you want to bring to life, but you also need to find the time for them, and unfortunately, I just have almost none of that. So, yeah. Don't worry, I do intend to at least have chapter 3 and 4 done before 2026 rolls over, but it will be on my own leisure. I'm not going to rush anything. Both are... Yes, chapter 3 and 4 are still from the perspective of Jonathan Harker. So Tales from the Vox has... Tales of the Vox is an amazing narrator, by the way. If you haven't already, also drop a follow onto him. Jinxie, if you're still around, not entirely sure, but if you are around, please provide a link to Tales from the Vox's channel in the chat so that people can go and visit him. And I will provide a link to Vox's channel after the live stream in the description, since I do consider that a special mention. And Nat the Unordinary is suddenly tempted to draw Dracula now. Well, maybe you should. Preferably with clothes on, please. Oh, no. A new enemy has entered the arena. Not a mosquito, but a fruit fly. marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. A fruit fly. As if I don't have enough woes going on. Thank you, Jinxie. So Jinxie has provided the channel link to Tales from the Vox's channel. By all means, subscribe to him. Watch his videos as well. He writes his own stories and poetry, I will add. Tell him I sent you his way and say hi on my behalf. By all means. Babes Maribel won't rush, so I imagine you're not an ER doctor then. Oh no. No, not at all. I like to take my time with my patients. Not the unordinary, no promises, Bone Guy. Please, no, give them clothes, Nat. Please. We can't have this kind of misrule on Discord again. Please. Why are you making me cry? Not really. I have empty eye sockets, so, you know, no tear ducts, but, you know, I can still act. Let's have a look. See, what was I looking at? Ah, right. These are... I'm looking through Gothic poetry here, but they're also short. Oh, I see. These are modern Gothic poetries. No, no. No, I don't want modern Gothic poetry. What, are you crazy? Like 4 verses and you're done? No, thank you. Please. My. They'll just not do. Well, let's not do anything with poetry at the moment. Dreadful Anecdotes, the Goblin Cave is calling. Welcome, Dreadful. Welcome. To anyone that doesn't know, I will add a little bit of context. So, me and Dreadful are avid players of the game Dark and Darker. And there is a map called the Goblin Caves, in which we like to, well, bash in the skulls of the little greenskins that try to, well, murder us to death. But, you know, we do it to them first. It's much fun. Highly recommend it. It's very fun. And Babes Maribel. I have to admit, I kind of want to see Dracula scantily clad. I mean, you do you, man. You do you, but in context, I am the one that does voice Dracula in Dracula. So I don't know if you want to see an undead eldritch lich scantily clad, but I would not recommend it. Not the unordinary. What makes the anecdote so dreadful? Dreadful says, too long a story to tell. Aye. Jinxie says, no, Dreadful, Granny wants to play. Ah, yes, Granny. Another reference to another game. I've quite forgotten the full name. I think it's just called Granny. Played it yesterday with Dreadful and Jinxie. It's a fun game as well. I would highly recommend it. Gather items, make sure Granny doesn't see you, and play Ring Around the Rosie around the dinner table. Much fun. Be wary of the bear traps, though. That kinda necked me in the 3rd night. Ugh. Oh, everybody's familiar with Granny, I see. No? Good, good. Most excellent. Okay, then I don't need to explain what all goes on over there. I like in the lore that Granny is basically Slenderman's mother-in-law, if I read it correctly. Which, you know, puts things into perspective. If I had that kind of a mother-in-law, yeah, I'd probably become like Slenderman as well. Jinxie? Censored? If you got censored, then that is not from me. Dreadful. Babes, Maribel, not me. I don't know, Granny, but I have to go to work anyway. See ya. Alright, Maribel, see you next time. And thank you for joining me on the stream here. And joining us all on the stream here. Correction. Jiggle physics, dreadful indeed. Yes, the interesting jiggle physics in the game, indeed. Yeah, Nat, I'm not gonna repeat that one out loud. I am not. Good try, though. Ah, yes, grape water. Nectar of the gods, if you ask me. Let's see, Dreadful asked me, what's the plan for tonight, Doc? Well, Dreadful, that is a very good question. I do not know what the plan is for tonight. I usually let just things happen as they come along. But I wouldn't mind bashing the heads in of a few greenskins in our way to the Goblin Caves. Jack Harrison, hello, welcome to the stream, Jack. Jack says, hello, I'm late, but I have arrives. I see. Autocorrect. Oh. Excuse me, Opera, don't be like that. Out of memory, says Opera. Those dreadful, those blasted knife ears. Indeed, dreadful. Jinxie. Alright, Jinxie, you know what, Jinxie, we'll start the night with Granny, and then we'll move to Dark and Darker to settle with this. Do we have peace on those terms, Jinxie? Do we have peace on those terms? Alright, we have peace on those terms. So, Dreadful, we have a plan ready. So, we'll start out with Granny, do that 1 or 2 rounds, and if we fail as miserably as last night, we'll just move on to Dark and Darker. Or Solasta, who knows? Depends on the mood. Well, since I am having the grape juice, I'm feeling fun. Dreadful, no! What do you mean you're not able to play? Ah, alright, Dreadful, you need to head out. That is fine, that is a-okay. Thank you for joining us on the stream, Dreadful. And I will be looking forward to your message later tonight. Alright, take care, Dreadful. Just keep an eye on the timing here. So Jack, it has been a minute since I've seen you in a live chat on this part, on my little part of YouTube. How have you been? Let's see. Oh, hello. I do not know how to pronounce that. I'm gonna call you R4. Hello, R4. I do know you. I do know you though. I do know you from Instagram. I've seen you a few times in live chats as well. How have you been? How are you? Rare the Poet, thank you. I'm having so much trouble reading reading that so much. Oh, I'm sorry. Rare the Poet. I'll be remembering that for next time. Too much energy drinks, you say? Oof. Yeah, I get it. So tell me, how fast is your heart beating right now, and can you keep your hands still? Because I've known people that have drank too much of those, and they were like a hamster on coffee. Lulu says, I thought it was a rare the post. Oh, no. Nat goes, when I heard R4, I thought of an NYC subway train with that exact classification. Well, here's the thing, I'm a Star Wars geek, so when I hear R4, I think of a certain droid belonging to a certain Jedi that is oh so beloved and the master of all memes. So there. Rare says, bro, I think I'm gonna... Yeah. Yeah, you may want to drink some water there. I want to say coffee to accelerate the exit, but I think in this case, it's definitely water. Jinxie, R2D2, BB-8. What do you... I just said it. R4 Jinxie. My god, look him up. R4, Star Wars, look who you belong to. Oh, it's such a sad world living with all these non-Star Wars people before Disney took over. Oh, can't have any fun. Wait, kitten on catnip? Am I missing something? Or did I forget something? That's probably it. Yeah, I probably just forgot something. Yeah, Lulu says, I love that little android. No, not an android, a droid. There's a difference in the classification there, Lulu. At least if we speak on Star Wars terms. I don't know how it is in real world terms. I'm not a robot scientist. And CP30. Oh, are you doing this on purpose? I feel you're doing this on purpose, Lulu. CP30, really? Really? Oh, good lord. Let's see. So for anyone that is new to the stream, welcome. I did put up a Q&A before the stream starts, so if you want to ask me any questions, feel free to use either the live chat or the Q&A that is pinned on top of the live chat over there. Speaking of which, let's go have a look over there. Jinxie was asking me, when will you do a face reveal? Absolutely never. There you go, Jinx. Well, I would say absolutely never, but well, here's the thing. At some point, it's just a bit of a dream of mine to voice act in something more than just narrations. So let's say if I were to voice act for a game or some kind of animated show, by all means, if that would lead up to an interview of some sorts, I would consider it, sure. I would certainly consider it, but other than that, on YouTube, as long as I'm in this space, no, not ever will there be a face reveal. I'm just gonna set the record straight here, but because everybody's getting it wrong, it's C3PO, not CP3O. Good lord, why, people? Oh my good lord. Doorway to Nightmare is in the asylum. Hello and welcome, Doorway to Nightmare. And thank you for that little heart attack. Let's see, where was I? I was about to go on a C3PO rant, but thank you for stopping me, Doorway. Thank you very much. Forgot that I'm a horror narrator, not a Star Wars commentator. Jinxie, you're doing that one on purpose. Nat, you're doing that one on purpose. Sleepy Gamer, hello! Hi, how have you been? It's been a long while since I heard from you. How have you been? Who said Red Dead Redemption 2? Oh, that was R2-D2. R2-D2, yeah, I get it. Nice. Oh, that's a game I should really start playing again. That's been a long time. Rare goes Wally. Wally. Yes, Lulu, at least you did got the right numbers and initials right. I mean, can't argue with that. Unfortunately. No, I can't argue with that. Metal Mickey. Wait, who's Metal Mickey? Wait, I need to search this one. Is this... I love learning new things. Metal Mickey, let's have a look. Rare, is that a TV show from the 80s? Also, Nat, absolutely not. It's not. That is not acceptable. This my spelling of Tormy. No, absolutely not. Oh, sorry, Rare. I meant Lulu. Sorry, Lulu. Metal Mickey. Show from the 80s. Okay. It's a fictional 5-foot-tall robot, as well as the name of a spin-off television show starring the same character. The robot character was created, controlled, and voiced using... voiced by Johnny Edward. Where do I know that name from? Isn't he a musician? He's a musician, right? Oh yeah, he was. So I was reading up on this. It was actually fascinating. Like I said, I love learning new things like this. Let's have a look. Rare asked me, how's the job going? I kind of forgot what you do now. Job is going quite well, actually. It's just a little hectic with the hours. It's not as consistent as I would have liked, but I'm still getting through it. Trying to find a good balance in between, but it's getting nice. Lulu says, I sent you the theme tune, you will be singing it. I'm going to assume you sent it to me on Discord, because I am not on the Discord. Also, the artist formerly known as Cryptic Tales, aka Taroxa, also messaged me on Discord. Well, he is no longer in the chat. He did have to leave. He had to watch a movie with a friend, but our collaboration is coming along very, very nicely, apparently. So that's something to look forward to. Don't worry, I'll post it in my community posts once it's out. But it should be in September. Also, Jinxie, are you playing a game while you are moderating here? Lulu, you sent it on Instagram. Alright, I'll have a look at that during the break then. Which, coincidentally, is about now. So we've been up for about an hour here, and that means I'm going to take a small break, as I do every hour. I will be back in about, let's say, 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes seems reasonable. And we'll continue to stream, and I'll do some live readings for you folks. Do we have a deal? Yes, we do have a deal. Excellent. I'm very glad you all agreed to this deal. Lulu, the bar is all yours. Open it up and give everybody their drinks. I will be right back. And I am back from my break. Well, that actually did some good. A little bit of stretching, a little bit of walking around, and a little bit of Lilith trying to get on my lap before she started to swat at my hand. And now I have a nice little scratch. Always fun, always fun. And now she is sulking somewhere because my hand has touched her claw or something like that. Also, hello, Doorway to Nightmare. Yes, the 10 minutes before chatting thing. Apologies for that. A little while ago, I'm going to explain why I actually have that in place. A little while ago, some degenerate idiot basically put in some very nasty words in the chat. Banned them, of course. But, yeah, that's basically why it's there. So, it's a 10-minute wait. Apologies for that, but that's a bit of a precaution for, you know, trolls. Because, as we all know, trolls really don't have the patience to wait around all the time. Not all trolls are like that, but most of them just want to do their stuff and bug out, basically. Let's see, where was I? No, I was not going on a C3PO rant. We already have moved beyond that. Oh, did Rare leave? Well, Rare, if you're rewatching in a later date, you'll be missed. Have a great day. And until next time. So to anyone that is new here, by all means, I still have a Q&A up. You can ask me any and all questions you'd like, within reason, of course. I'll be happy to answer anything that is on your mind. Really, the only limitation is your own imagination. Doorway says, completely understand. Fortunately, we have not had that problem yet. Well, I want to say that it doesn't happen, but it is the internet, and it is something that every creator should basically brace for. There will always be smug little idiots that think they can get away with everything. Professor Dr. Hugo Strange, you have joined us in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. One less variable contaminating our results. Indeed, Doctor, indeed. To the uninitiated, Dr. Hugo Strange in the chat here is actually one of my Discord moderators. One of two. The other one is Jinxie. In the Discord, he is known as Udo Schmerz. And he has his own song out right now, which you can view on Discord and on Patreon for free. I made it for his own birthday. It was fun. It was great fun to do. Well, the lyrics and editing, mind you. The instrumentals and voices, unfortunately, I had to borrow through artificial means, but yeah, it's a slope that I have to do because I don't really have a budget for anything. And I would feel extremely bad if I would to put it behind a paywall. In my opinion, if you're gonna do AI things, don't put it behind a paywall. You're using AI. That's just scumbag behavior. Other than that, I'm glad with the results we've made for him. Nat, so many doctors in this community. Like, how many? Like, I'm one, Strange is one. There's only 2 doctors here, Nat. By all means, Christ. So yeah, the Q&A is still pinned on the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me there. Also, you can also put into the live chat, but there is always the possibility that I might miss it in the live chat, depending on the traffic. So far, I can actually manage. Let's see. Oh god, a lot of questions all of a sudden. That's Night Slayer. I have a question. What would happen if Lazar entered into a grove? That's a bit of a mute question, because that's I think, one of 2, maybe 3 places you'll actively avoid never set foot in for very, very obvious reasons. Ash is asking, do you plan on voice acting in the future as well as your narrations that I absolutely love? Ash, when you ask about the voice acting, do you mean on the channel or beyond the channel? Like expanding? Doorway to Nightman, proud to say we have never used AI voices, nothing but real people. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, Doorway. My narrations are purely me. I'm not using AI for that. At all. Don't misunderstand me here. Every narration you'll find on my channel is purely me, with my own voice, and with collaborations done. I don't use AI voices in the slightest for that. It's only for when I'm in the mood, if I've written up a song for my own little quote-unquote universe, because call me a theatrical kid. I mean, I've written up a song and I don't know any people with instruments and vocals, which I do not. I do use AI just to have a feel of what it would sound like, and maybe make a song about... I have about 3 of them now, but like I said, I'm not putting them behind a paywall, because that would be absolute scumbag behavior on my part. So, no, but kudos for you that you're not using any AI voices, though. Very good. Let's see, where was I? Ash says both. Oh, both. Oh, both. Good question, Ash. I mean, I'd love to do voice acting in the future that isn't just horror narrations. I think I actually addressed this earlier in the stream. I'd love to be involved in some kind of a show or a game and lend my vocal talents, if possible. But yeah, that also requires networking, and that is something I am abysmally failing at, networking. I feel with networking, you basically have to put up a facade about who you are and slowly reveal yourself, as it were. And that's something I absolutely hate. You basically have to deceive your way into getting a job, which, you know, as it always is. But yeah, that's basically it. Like, in this live stream, I'm happy to be myself and interact with everybody. That's just me. But I actually freeze up if I have to meet new people, say, outside somewhere, or in a new Google meeting or something like that. I actually freeze up and tend to be a lot more quiet than I am right now. That's a downside on my end. I'm working on it, though. Don't worry about it. I am working on it. I do have 2 profiles set up in voice acting websites. Not gonna say which ones, but they have been set up. And if anything, I can use the YouTube channel as a bit of... as a reference, as to show my repertoire, basically. A Doorway says, if you want a part, we've got plays coming up. Loving your voice. By all means, Doorway, if you have anything, which you think suits me, hit me up. By all means, hit me up. I think my email should be in my link tree in the description, and if not, feel free to reach out on Discord or on Instagram or wherever you found me, really. Feel free to hit me up. Happy to help. Very happy to help out. Not the unordinary. Same here, Tommy. Lulu says, I hate meeting new people. I don't even like answering my phone. No, same here. Sometimes I just ignore my phone. If it's not an important number, like from work, I straight up ignore it. Sometimes even with family members, believe it or not. But, you know, that kind of depends on the family member. Some of them are not desirable to speak with, to say it lightly. Doorway says, we have only met one of our actors. I just sent the scripts and leave it up to the actor to do it. Yeah, usually that's how I operate as well, Doorway. So I receive a script from someone, and I can basically read in the story itself what the intended intonation is, what intended intonation is needed, right? I get that. Try the Instagram, I'm gonna let you send a message. Really? That's weird. Let me have a look. Actually, I have a look for you right now, Doorway, about this. Huh. Oh, there. Okay, that's Rare the Poet. I was a little confused there. That's Rare the Poet. Okay. Normally, I should receive messages, but oh well. I will read it in the email then, Doorway. My end, I'm not seeing anything in my settings, but I did have a little bit of a rushed look. I'll have a proper look tomorrow. Night Slayer says, the narrator on the IGN trailer for the new Halloween game sounds like you. I can promise you, Night Slayer, that is not me. I don't really even think I have that great of a trailer voice. You know, if I think about a trailer voice, this is one guy on YouTube I used to watch like years ago. He could do that so good. Forgotten his name though. I basically did like real honest trailers, I believe it was called. Basically, he made honest quote-unquote reviews out of trailers. Basically, literally said what was happening in a trailer. It was funny. Doorway, if you do not find the email, by the way, I can send it to you. That said, I did promise a live reading, and I am a lich of my word. And I do have a nice little reading prepared here. This will be very much a cold reading, because I have not read the story beforehand. This is something I selected about somewhere in the first half hour of the stream. It is called The One Who Bore Them, written by William C., who is a bit of a known author in the creepypasta circles. You do have to keep an eye on the stream at the same time, so I'm going to put that on my other screen here. Boop. And there we are. And then I need to put on, right, the thing that I'm reading. No, you are the wrong page. There you are. Boredom by William. Okay, let's put that on the screen here. There we are. Ooh, that's a little... That's better. Right then. Without further ado, let us start the reading of today, which is called The One Who Bore Them. Once again, there is a Q&A pinned on the live chat. Use that if you have any questions, because I will not be reading the live chat as I'm reading this. Now, let us begin. Would you care to hear an old man's story for a moment? I remember that as a child, I had a manic fixation on organizing and cataloging every interest, object, or idea I had. One might say I had an insatiable appetite for the very essence of existence and how it interplays with itself in all its beautiful and horrific grandeur. It started first with the elements and how they inspire everything in the natural world, and how they turn her cogs. Then, with ideas of myself, and who I would eventually become, the future indeed is important to me. And then, finally, I collected certain objects that I treasured the most out of anything else, for their respective colors, shapes, tactile and emotional invocations. These items are rather special. So special, I vividly remember all 538 instances. All neatly categorized and ordered and lovingly caressed with each associated tactile memory. Many of them have names, some as mundane and dismissive as a car passing by your street, some as moving as a historic romance, and some as black as a horrible deed hidden in a basement somewhere. Innumerable years were spent collecting them. I might be inclined to refer them as toys or trinkets. Coupled with the infinite amusement they bring me, I have a certain predilection to losing these items. My body, long weathered against the grains of time, has spent the strength my youthful arms once carried. I used to have power and space to hold them. Now I can barely catch my beloved objects as they fall from my grasp. I cannot remember the first time I realized they had begun to slip from me. I perhaps noticed a draining, an emptiness, a sort of puzzle piece that loosely dangled from my flesh like some half-living dream. You feel that integral peace and its absence, and to be ignorant... and to the ignorant passer-by of the mundane world, these gifts to the world are squandered and left to rot in undignified pockets. This is perhaps why I go through such great lengths to detail all of this to you. It matters not how my message reaches an audience. It matters not which object lies where and why and how, because, as my prior history with these fascinations may imply, I always know where I must have dropped them and how to return them to my grasp. You see, the thing about some collections is that they are just too tantalizing, too salaciously desirable to let go of. Have you ever had a fixation that, despite all of reality conspiring against your coupling, you strive to see perfected and neatly boxed up? Or that, perhaps, they inspire a passion so deep and intense that it feels like a whirlpool from which there is no escape, and yet your entire person insists, yes, this is my ideal, this is my possession, I am nothing without it. That is the motivation these objects bring me. If one spends their entire existence not trying to holistically, objectively understand and coexist with a collectible, then why even bother having it at all? Discard it, throw it away even. It still has growing pains to do to be worthy of consumption. That is the point of holding something, to understand the weight of a thing's existence merely by possessing it and never feeling the need to abandon it. Anything else is less than a tool, intended to be discarded after use. To cut to the chase, I ask you, dear reader, in this case dear listeners, to fulfill one simple task for me, and surely I understand the lunacy of asking such a thing from an impractical place via what is undoubtedly an analog method of communication. But this object is perhaps the easiest one to find, because it is present in a myriad of places. And really, this simple and generous act will motivate me to share my many, many bountiful gifts. I tell you, these old bones carry wealth many men will never see in their lives. Much of it is monetary, and some lay in bounds and dusty volumes and hidden containers that have never before been graced by mundane eyes. Should you succeed, you will make contact at the end of this quest. My only joy these days comes from others discovering the myriad gifts that my collection provides. There is an associated gift for each of these objects beyond the one you seek, and each one is more useful than the last. Hark, listen closely, because these instructions are not for cowards and braggarts. The trials to be passed are fleeting and ephemeral in nature, being subject to failure at the slightest notion of doubt. And failure not only means loss of my wealth, but a decline of the spirit that will persist in the most agitating and subtle ways throughout the remainder of your life. Excuse me. The bell tower was once again distracting me. This is how lost opportunities eat away at you. If but an iota of skepticism exists at all, then do not waste your life continuing. I have no mind for those without internal eyes. Visit any asylum in any part of the world and ask to see he who bore them. The receptionist may feign ignorance, confusion, and even apprehension, perhaps escalating further, until such a point it may seem that you shall be forcibly removed from the establishment. Continue pestering them, unrelentingly even. You may employ shouting, cursing, and perhaps even physical displays of threat if one so desires, but do not harm the reception. Eventually, with a sigh of resignation, they shall lead you to a hallway that does not correlate to any other portion of the facility. Follow these hallways as intuitively as possible. There is no wrong combination to traverse them, only a wrong tone of step and a lingering gaze. You will notice that passerby will slowly and assuredly drift further and further apart until you are the only foot traffic. Do not react to this realization. Do not look into the rooms of these hallways. Therein lies other seekers who will inevitably fill these rooms. They are beneath notice. They lack the drive you have. Most humans do, in truth. You will prove this. Eventually, a battered and chained door will make itself apparent to you. It should have a set of notches in the frame determining the number of seekers who have made it this far. Last time I checked, it was around 3. It's been a very, very long time since someone has made it this far. As if predetermined, as if I were expecting you to walk through. Knock 5 times in steady tempo, and say the first phrase that comes to your mind. It may perhaps be an inkling of a mantra concerning the nature of one's own desires. you will speak it confidently, earnestly, and out loud, for that is the only thing that will open these doors. Otherwise, you will merely find yourself at the back exit of the establishment. Remember that nothing is true, but all is permitted. Belief is merely a tool to further a seeker's resolve when pursuing an object of desire. The longer one looks upon that fixation, the more it becomes part of your reality. And so do the fetid, quiet things which occasionally twitch in the peripheries. That is why it's important to purge all other thoughts from your head as you partake in this test. Nothing else matters. Your gnosis depends on it. Gonna take a 2-minute break there. Just to have a... Just to have something to moisten the throat, if you will. Because that is quite something. That is quite a story, my god. Also, hello, Duchess of Darkness, and welcome to the live stream. Welcome, welcome. Doorway says, thank goodness for editing software. Live readings are truly a nightmare. I've been doing them a while. I wouldn't say they're a nightmare, but it kind of depends on the distractions around you, you know? And sometimes you stumble upon these longer words you have to look at least a few seconds longer at. Let's see, Jen says, time for a quick break. What did I miss? Oh, nothing too much. Currently reading a story, as Doorway is saying. Here's the darkness when Duke of Brightness walks in. Good one, Nat. Hydration is important to you. Well, yes it is, Jen. Again, I'm having very special water. It's darkly red colored, and it is made with grapes, from my understanding. And a professional tip, do not drink this particular beverage, which is certainly not forbidden by YouTube or anything like that. If you are going to narrate yourselves, always have water on standby. Actual water. Also, Nat, no, I'm not drinking jet fuel. But, I'll remember that one. Alright, where was I? Ah, right there. You'll feel an ecstatic sensation as you plunge into the pitch-black gulf that awaits you. In this charnel room, dozens of voices will begin to call you from across the sickbeds, each accusing you of an intimate sin. Find the decision that caused a loved one the most pain. You know which one it is, so don't bother pretending otherwise. You will feel it in return, tenfold, a reminder of the choices you've made to reach this point. If you choose correctly, all ceiling lights will activate. Afterwards, follow their sparsely lit path to the broken staircase which leads to nothingness. Rotten wood steps lines... What? Let me have a look at that sentence, because that does... Oh, no, I've misread. Whoops. Rotten wooden steps line the walls in absurd abundance, as if unnoticed and swept into this decayed throat by generations and generations of weak and ignorant custodians. Rusted grime leaks from the pores in the walls, a reminder of the trinkets which leave holes in my being. Somewhere, an infernal machine pumps useless pistons that serve no function other than synchronize with your heartbeat and draw you closer to the heart of your search. Every cell in your body will scream in protest, and your mind will lead you to naturally doubt the nature of this quest. Jump in. I remember being a young man once, sitting outside my school with not a single soul surrounding me in the depths of winter. I remember huddling close to myself and believing myself to be utterly invisible. Twice myself in one sentence. Untouchable, a mass of nothing. And then the heavens parted, and a bird came crashing down into the concrete abruptly. Whether it was the impact or the cold, who could say, but I remember watching this bird perish slowly with my reflection staring back from its skyward eyes. In the eye, I appeared as a shadowy mountain, and I wondered if perhaps to this small bird I was its own incarnation of death made manifest, to usher it into the next world. I smile now when I think about it, sitting on one of my innumerable shelves. Death is now immutably a part of my being. As I once did on that day, you will find yourself standing at the bottom of a precipice from which nothing whole may escape. Here you will find myself seated in my resting chambers. I will greet you, and you will sit down next to me on a bed made from fallen leaves, marble eyes, and incandescent smoke. The walls around us are a collage of everything, and every moment that has ever happened in the world, coalescing and mixing and unmaking themselves in an orgy-like fresco of madness. My eyes bore holes through you, and the peeling walls and tapestry between us, but you will not feel them, not until much later. And we will sit and discuss the nature of things for some time, as it will have been the what is this sentence? As it will have been the first human conversation I've had in ages. We will discuss Carcosa, the last great king Hastur, and the Hyades. You will see the lattice work in which my objects will fit, and you will weep when you understand to what end they'll all serve in tandem. And you will wonder how this came to be, how you came to follow such an esoteric guide down to the minute detail to lead you to this suffocating and dreamlike world. You will wonder how I've known every step you would take, and as we chitter away into the night, you will see me as I have always been, a series of concentric holes, digging deeper and deeper into the Xanthous painting of madness that constitutes my atmosphere. Once upon a time, the world began with a hunger, an obsession that grinds itself in circles for eons. I am that hunger. Each ring is more obsession that burrows deeper. I answered when you were seeking. We were both beings bound by our fixations and obsessions. Here we will find mutual satisfaction. The desire to collect, to observe, to devour, to cherish is present in every single human being on the planet. We are bound to these baubles as we are bound to one another. Do you not understand? We are nothing but voids in the gossamer outlines of humans, and that is why we should strive to fill those gaps in with as many as ecstatic, loathsome, painful, whimsical, maddening memories as we can, to fill up space, and to be filled in turn, to be made whole. The final task, one of many, is resting on the cabinet next to us. Place the power drill upon your frontal skull plate, roughly atwixt the middle and upper portion of your forehead, and drill through the skull until an airway is made clear. Upon completion, My essence will bore itself deep into your skull, mixing, swirling in a nauseating vortex of sights. The pain will be unendurable, and you will wish you were dead. But you will persist regardless. You are Object 1 of 538. You can see now every other object from here, in this sanguine room through yellowed and tattered eyes, which pierce every wall and hidden depth, where pockets of rotten flesh, bereft of their purpose, lay bare and awaiting their return of their possessions. The eyes of Hester are infinitely irradiant, and they light the path to the other lost baubles, the 537, which all impart a portion of myself to the seeker. The trial to receive them are many and agonizing. Broken bones, a splintered soul, a bruised mind await. But for you, it will be a mere triviality, with your youthful and searching hands and the fascination to see the end through. And one day, you will become the one who holds them all, and I will become that little dead bird in your eyes. And there we have it, The One Who Bore Them by William C. As I said, this was mostly a cold reading, so I do apologize for any interruptions there. But I was not expecting the Lovecraftian twist at the end there. Like, yeah, it read a little bit like Lovecraft, faintly, if ever. But the mentioning of Hester, the Yellow King, and all that, I was actually pleasantly surprised as I was reading that. I might actually save that for a video, however. Save that and see if I can contact William because, you know, approval is everything. Like, it's on the Creepypasta wiki. It's on the CCBYSA category, so it should be safe to read, but I prefer asking permissions, of course. Oh, did someone leave? Ah, Cindy, yes. Cindy, if you can still hear me, enjoy your chicken, and I'll see you next time. And if not, I hope you will rewatch the stream and you'll still hear this. House of Jen, dude, T, your cold reads have leveled up like whoa. Love to hear it. Now, there were a few times I had to take a little bit of a pause there, you know, tongue twisters and all that. But yeah, compared to my earlier readings, like way back in the day, like my first live streams, yeah, I actually prefer how it's evolved now. Thank you, Doorway. Thank you. Fantastic addition to the channel indeed. Yeah, like I said, I prefer these old classical writings, Lovecraftian. This is more like what I like to call neo-Lovecrafting, like, you know, modern Lovecraft, but, you know, it still works. It still works very nicely. I actually enjoy it myself. Nat says, I could never become a YT narrator. I'm so prone to misreading things. Oof. Join the club, Nat. I mean, I misread things all the time. Not as much as before, I will say that. But the more you do this, the more you'll get into your role as a narrator, you know, and easier it becomes to actually read the things that you're reading in context to what is presented. So, yeah, don't worry about misreading stuff, because that happens to the best of us. I promise you that it happens to the best of us. Lulu says, it's been a very long time since I heard a Dr. T reading. Really? Has it been? How long? Huh. How long has it been then? I mean, didn't I do a live reading on Jinxie's birthday stream? I genuinely cannot remember. I know we've played games that we were playing Repo, I believe. I'm not entirely sure how long we've played Repo. Dreadful was there too. According to Jinxie, I did not. Alright, sorry for that. Alright, we wanted to focus a little more on you and on the gaming. Now that's alright, Doorway. You go ahead and edit away, do your work. I'll happily watch for my emails after the stream. I'll definitely be in touch. And if you want to hear more from me, I have an entire backlog. You can basically go through the playlist. By all means, all the better. I wish you a very good day, night, morning, depending where you are. And looking forward to also seeing your work. Let's see, what else is there to read? Just gonna hang out a little bit while I find the next reading. Hopefully nothing as heavy as this. I'm going to admit that it kind of pumped me up a bit, but I also want to keep it a bit slow because it's past midnight here, like it's 12:20 right now, so you know, moderation, as we Europeans are known for. Ash says, the first one for me was a long while ago that I joined that stream. On your Discord, I believe. Yeah, I believe that was a few months ago. I can't quite remember which. Here's the thing, I do not remember what I cold read. This is why I basically put them in the descriptions during and after a stream. It's mostly so I can go back as well, you know? Let's see, this is the one who bought them. Speaking of which, I'm just gonna put this one in my description right now. The One Who Bore Them by William C. There we are. That should be in the description. I'm gonna make also a list of the special mentions that I had today. So who did I all mention? Tales from the Vox, definitely I did. That's Tales from the Vox. Also Dreadful Anecdotes, because he did popped in, and I did say did. And if you haven't seen Dreadful's content, I've done, I think, 5 or 6 collaborations with him in the past. One also very recently, Little Pete. Highly recommend to check out his channel as well. Jinxie, if you're still in the stream, by all means provide a link to Dreadful Anecdotes' channel. I'm also gonna put Doorway in here for the special mentions. I like him. I like them. Thus far. Let's see. What was the full name again? Doorway to Nightmare. Right. If I can find them, of course, because Doorway. Sometimes the tagging is a little bit iffy. There we are. And of course, I do believe I mentioned Lady Spookaria. It starts somewhere at the start. There we are. Save. There we are. So the link to the story, as well as the name and as well as the title and the author, should be in the description right now. There we are. As well as the special shoutouts. Sleepy Gamer sounds like a really good mechanical keyboard. Yes, thank you. Yes, indeed. It is a good keyboard. I've had it for 2 years now. Bought it very cheap. This and the mouse together were about 25 euros, which I believe is about $28, something like that. Well, doesn't matter. 25 euros for the mouse and the keyboard. And they've been going strong for about 2 years now. I haven't had any problems with them so far. I actually like them. Also, Duchess, forgot to ask, I did see that you came into the stream. How have you been? It's also been a while since I've seen you in a live stream. How have you been? Also for the next reading will be a poetic reading by Lord Byron, also known as George Gordon. It is titled Darkness. But that is for in a few minutes, that's not for right now. Need to relax the throat a little bit. I mean, yeah, Dutch is a nice title indeed. That's Lord Byron for you. He did always knew how to make a nice little title like that. I prefer his other work, Solitude, which I have covered on the channel, but I really should also do more of his work. It's been a while since I did something of his. I think Solitude is reaching the 1 year mark even. I'm doing good, Duchess. I'm doing good. Like I said earlier in the stream, a little hectic with working hours and all that. No consistent work schedule that there is at the moment, but getting there. Getting there, working on it. Lulu says, I have so many of the Duchess's narrations to catch up on. I've been so busy last few months. I highly recommend it. I've been catching up with Duchess's work as well. For some reason, YouTube didn't push the notifications to me for Duchess whenever she did a new narration. I don't know why. Sometimes YouTube is like that, so I have to manually look for certain narrators if they have ever made new videos. At some point, I even thought that Lady Spookaria stopped uploading because I have the bell icon ticked on, so I should get a notification, right? But then all of a sudden, I did not get a notification. I've missed about 5 to 7 videos of hers. And I'm just thinking to myself, what the hell? YouTube, what's this now? And this has gone on with several narrators. Like, As the Raven reads, I've not gotten a notification of his work for a while now, like months. And I know he still makes videos, but I never get the notifications for it. It's a little frustrating. Like, you want to catch up with your peers, basically. And with peers, I mean narrators. I'm not looking at subscriber counts here. Like, you want to catch up with other narrators. What are they doing? You want to support them. You want to give them a like and a comment. Preferably not a bot-like comment that is, like, repeating the same thing over and over again. Like, actually listen to the story and give something more. Yes, Ash, as the Raven Dreams. But yeah, it's absolutely abysmal how YouTube works on that. But it's also the better platform to basically work on. However, I have been looking into Rumble a little bit. I still need to really look into it and see how it is like, but so far I'm hearing good things from Rumble. I think, Jen, you're maybe more versed than I am on that, maybe. I don't know. But definitely is worth a watch. And then now I'm going to start reading from Lord Byron, but that is also going to be the end of the stream, because I cannot make it too long. I also have to get up early in the morning. You know, fun. So this one is called Darkness by Lord Byron. Before I go, let me just have a look at the Q&A. No further questions in the Q&A, that is fine. Back to the live chat. There we are. Okie dokie. So, Darkness by Lord Byron. Oh wait, I need to put that on the screen as well. There we are. That can be a little bigger. Let's see, House of Giants seems like a newer platform that doesn't have the same recognition. Well, I'm not really looking for recognition as YouTube. It's more like expand the channel a little bit, you know? But that's neither here nor there. Let me just move this a little bit so that's better readable. Also, I forgot to put on little Tommy as I'm reading. There we are. There he is, handsome bastard. Handsome little bastard he is. I should really think about that, to always put on the little reading Tommy as I'm reading. I should not forget that. No, not tiny Tommy, little Tommy. God damn, Nat. Jinxie says, wait. Alright, I'll wait for you, Jinx. I'll put my schedule on hold for you, Jinx. Does the bell toll once each half hour? Yes, yes it does. The bell tower tolls once every half hour. Isn't that fun? Do you understand the fun I'm having in my weekends in the mornings, Jinx? No, because you live in Canada and I live here in Europe, so I'm gonna stay here. But thanks for the offer, though. Besides, I'll take my cats with me. I'm not gonna leave them here if we're gonna switch houses. Just saying. Cats are coming with me. They're not staying. You can't have one. And that said, where was I? Ah, right. Darkness by Lord Byron. Byron. I said Byron. That's a stain on my reputation. I had a dream, which was not at all a dream. The bright sun was extinguished, and the stars did wander darkling in eternal space. Rayless and pathless, and the icy earth swung blind and blackening in the moonless air. Morn came and went, and came and brought no day, and men forgot their passions in the dread of this their desolation, and all hearts were chilled into a selfish prayer for light. And they did live by watchfires and the thrones, the palaces of crowned kings, the huts, the habitations of all things which dwell, were burned for beacons, cities were consumed, and men were gathered round their blazing homes to look once more into each other's face. Happy were those who dwelt within the eye of the volcanoes and their mountain torch. A fearful hope was all the world contained. Forests were set on fire, but hour by hour they fell and faded, and the crackling trunks extinguished with a crash, and all was black. The brows of men by the despairing light wore an unearthly aspect. As by fits the flashes fell upon them, some lay down and hid their eyes and wept, and some did rest their chins upon their clenched hands and smiled. And others hurried to and fro, and fed their funeral piles with fuel, and looked up with mad disquietude on the dull sky. The pall of a past world, and then again with curses cast them down upon the dust, and gnashed their teeth and howled. The wild birds shrieked, and terrified did flutter on the ground, and flapped their useless wings. The wildest brutes came tame and tremulous, and vipers crawled and twined themselves among the multitude. Hissing but stingless, they were slain for food. And war, which for a moment was no more, did glut himself again. A meal was bought with blood, and each sate sullenly apart. Gorging himself in gloom, no love was left. All earth was but one thought, and that was death. Immediate and inglorious, and a pang of famine fed upon all entrails. Men died, and their bones were tombless as their flesh. The meagre by the meagre were devoured. Even dogs assailed their masters, all save one, and he was faithful to a cause, and kept the birds and beasts and famished men at bay, till hunger clung them, or the dropping dead lurked their lank jaws. Himself sought out no food, but with a piteous and perpetual moan, and a quick desolate cry, licking their hand which answered not with a caress, he died. The crowd was famished by degrees, but two of an enormous city did survive, and they were enemies. They met beside the dying embers of an altar place where had been heaped a mass of holy things for an unholy usage. They raked up, and shivering scraped with their cold skeleton hands. The feeble ashes and their feeble breath blew for a little life, and made a flame which was a mockery. Then they lifted up their eyes as it grew lighter, and beheld each other's aspects, saw and shrieked and died. Even of their mutual hideousness they died, unknowing who he was upon whose brow famine had written fiend. The world was void, the populous and the powerful was a lump, seasonless, herbless, treeless, manless, lifeless, a lump of death, a chaos of hard clay. The rivers, lakes, and oceans all stood still, and nothing stirred within their silent depths. Ships sailorless lay rotting on the sea, and their masts fell down piecemeal. As they dropped, they slept on the abyss without a surge. The waves were dead, the tides were in their grave, the moon, their mistress, had expired before. The winds were withered in the stagnant air, and the clouds perished. Darkness had no need of aid from them. She was the universe. And that was Darkness by Lord Byron, as presented. Don't know what that accent was. I think I can put that away for now. There we go. This is one of those poetic readings I might once again adopt into the channel, though. In due time. Not something quick. Maybe something to put in September. You know, because I don't only want to make shorts, obviously. Like, as much as I hate making reels and shorts, I do recognize it's basically what YouTube wants. And what YouTube wants, you provide as a YouTuber, unfortunately. That said, there will still be long-form stories. I just need to find a good work rhythm for those. I'm quite proud of the Russian sleep experiment, so if you haven't watched that one, by all means, give it a watch, give it a like, and give me your thoughts in the comments. Jinxie, wait, you don't want to be a UTalk star? UTalk? Really? UTalk? What the hell is a UTalk, Jinxie? UTalk. Christ. No, I don't want to be a UTalk star. No. UTalk. Oh, oof. It even sounds revolting. I mean, jish. I must find a bucket to vomit in at this pace. Oof. UTalk. Christ almighty. You know what? I'm feeling somewhat in a good mood. I'll give it one more reading. Let's see. But what? What shall I read? Maybe something of my own writing? So let's have a look. No, not this one. That's the wrong drive. Here's a nice one. An oldie but a goodie. Another poem, this one penned down by yours truly. Duchess, you should be familiar with this one because you've read it a while ago on your channel, if memory serves. Ash says one of your OG stories. Well, the thing is, I don't really have OG stories. DrTorment OG stories, I have written down one, which I'm currently narrating as an exclusive story for Patreon and channel members. So I'm not going to read that one here, unfortunately. I did before when it was still in... when I was still working on it. I did read it before, but that was way, way, way back, and I can't remember which live stream that was for the life of me. Either way, it's been updated now. I'm working on it to make it a video for exclusive members and channel as an exclusive video for channel members and Patreon members. Because, you know, I really should be putting out some exclusive content out there. That said, Duchess knows what's up. The Duchess knows which one I'm talking about. Good. Duchess, did we talk about a second poem that you could read that I delivered? But I'm not entirely sure if that was ever finished or if I ever sent that one. Do let me know, because I do have a vague memory of that being discussed or that I sent a link. I'm not entirely sure. Now, I'm talking about something that's been like months ago, maybe even a year by now, so by all means, take that with a grain of salt. But so far, you're the only channel I've ever given my poetic narrations to narrate. if I did provide the link, I'll find it on my own, don't worry about it. But for now, I want to read to you guys a little something I like to call... I'm gonna put it on this, on the thing, on the screen. Dutch says, I don't think you ever sent a link though. That's fine, I'll have a look myself. If I didn't send a link, that's on me then. Not sure. That said, I'm also not entirely sure which poem that was. So once again, grain of salt. We'll see. Why is it not visible? Oh, there you go. And Lil Reading Tommy is back. Woohoo! Oh, that's a little smaller. Let's do it like so. So this one is called The Salesman's Nursery. So the salesman, in context, just that I explain the context of what is about to be read here. The salesman is a character in my own dark fantasy writing I'm still working on. Today I got a flicker of an itch to write again, so maybe I'll revisit that endeavor sometime soon. That said, as I was saying, the salesman is a character in that writing. Consider him a lot like Mephistopheles on a crossroads, if you are familiar with the story of Dr. Faust. Like that, but a little more grey, like not entirely evil, but he will play around with you. He will play around with you, and every reaction will get a very, very, very overt reaction, basically. And this is a nursery rhyme that children would basically sing whenever he is in a village. Like, and the way it works is like they are not aware that they are singing it because he is there. It's just something they'll say. Oh, we heard Mum say it in the evening or something like that. It's a bit of a mimetic thing. But without further ado, The Salesman's Nursery by yours truly. He walks on all roads in stories most old. Soft be his smile, as warmest as fire. Showing our needs by luck or just ire. His tongue's a knife of silver, speaking words coated in gold. He knows all our crafts, and behold, on contracts of coal, the price can be all. Grass bones, mere gold, or a soul. Before you he bows and shall mewl, with eyes a shimmer like rosy jewels. He grants all desires, and ne'er he will tire. For the wicked 'tis what you choose, and the good best pay all their dues. Before you he swoons, and draws you with boons. The dark shuns all him, and the light swiftly dims. Offering desires all we can fancy, wealth, lust, and meals, as far you can see. Keep up your end, he will call, or you're done for and shall crawl. He snares you away if you cannot give pay. Thought you were smart when guiled from the start. And dragged to afar while burning in stars, you are forlorn and ne'er be reborn. In surfers and gore till the end of us all. He walks on all roads in stories most old. Soft be his smile, as warmest as fire. As you plot and conspire, bargains are made, he's served in his trade. He knows how it ends, before his offer is sent. And that was it. It's not as long as one of Lord Byron's poems, but there you have it. The Salesman's Nursery penned down by yours truly. And also performed by Duchess of Darkness on her channel as well. It's been a while, I think about well over a year now. But definitely have a look on her version as well. And Jinxie, if you're still in the chat, feel free to add Duchess of Darkness's channel with a link. If not, I can happily provide it if you're not in the chat at all. Actually, let me go ahead to her channel and actually pick up that video. I'll give you folks a direct link to that one. It's been a while, so let me have a look here. Ah, yeah, there we are. 11 months ago. It's been that long. So Jinxie has put up Duchess's channel on the chat. I myself will put up the video of this poem that she made about 11 months ago. There you go, folks. Enjoy. And that said, let me just add Duchess of Darkness also to the special mentions here. On the description. There we are. Also put that in my description that I've read this. There we are. Aye, Duchess, it has indeed been 11 months. Well, I'm in this spree. Let me see if I can find a short story, and I do mean a short story on my end, that I can read and to finish off the stream with. Like I said, I feel a little in a good mood, so I'm happy to do so. What's this? Of ravens and eagles. Oh wow, that's been a long time since I've worked on that one. Darkening of the North, I did that one 2 or 3 months ago, yeah. Last Voyage, I definitely did that one early on. What's this one about? I found something and I have no memory of writing this. My god, the holes I have in my head for this. My. Hey, what are my cats doing up there? And what is this? No, too long. Way too long. Darkening of the North again. Already did this. Meeting with Overmanders and the Spirits. No. Meow. Eve, was that you? Hey, meow, huh? How you doing? She has come. Sweetie, I'm trying to find something here. Do you know where I've put it? A little bit of thingamajig. Let's see, maybe here. No, that's the poem section. I've read enough poems. I actually want to read a small little thing that I've actually penned down. I was quite proud of that one. Where the hell is it? Yeah, I know. Read your poem. Which poem is that, Jinxie? I'm a little confused here. Sleepy Gamer. It has a really good rhythm, actually. Yes, Sleepy. Here's the thing. I already had a rhythm in mind when I was writing it down, but for the love of me, I can't remember what it was completely. I just had a little bit of it. I did recognize a little bit of it as I was reading it along, but it wasn't fully. But yeah, there was definitely a rhythm I had in mind already. Let's see here. This one? No, that's not the one. I mean, seriously, where the hell did I put it? Starting to upset me, if ever so little bit. I put this one down. Heartland Empires, no more. That's 9 pages. I'm not gonna read all that. Maybe another time, that one. Maybe another time. No, not this one. I'm sorry if I'm being a little quiet. Actually, let me put the stream on the different screen here so I can still follow along with the chat. Q&A, eh? Remind me of that one next time, Jinxie. I'll give it a read. Example is Brandelaire. Is that the one? No, surely not. A liar. Yeah, that's. No, not this one. There's a little. That's a love story. Nobody likes a love story. What, are you crazy? Now, don't worry, Jinxie. I'll copy paste it for you. Is the creation law? Eve, please, no. Come on, where the hell is it? Breaking of the South. No idea what this is about. That's a poem though, so that doesn't count. Thank you by throwing everything on the ground. Are you happy now? Kitty Chaos. A little late to the party, but they're here. No, Jinxie, that was Eve. That was Eve. Seriously, you knocked So, is this something new you're doing? So here's the thing. I had a folder on the table next to me, and Eve, by jumping from that table to my to the other table, basically took the folder with her. Now she's sitting on the folder, washing herself. Like, if this is not the purest dominance of stop working and give me attention, I don't know what is. Like, honestly, seriously? No, she just even straight up ignores me. Alright then, fine. Keep doing what you're doing then, I suppose. What was I doing? Ah, right. Let's see. Anything that mentions Lucifer, I suppose? Sample? Oh, wait, is this the one? Second Rebellion, Battle of the Infernal Gates. Yes, this is the one. Oh, finally. So, this is one of those texts that I haven't touched in years. It is... Oh, how long has it been? I think 2017? 18? So, my standard is quite an old text. Let me put on the... reading Battle of the Infernal Gates. Sample text. So this is a bit of my dark fantasy writing. It's a small 3-pager on something that happens in the creation myth of said dark fantasy writing. So all you need to, and the only thing I'm gonna say is, if you hear me say the term Daigor, that's basically the word for demons. There. Let's see, where's my YouTube studio so I can keep an eye on the chat? There we are. Okie dokie. I do see there are some names to change here. Excuse me. I do have some names to change here, like, yeah, that one. Alright, here we go. It is about 2.5 pages, I'm gonna say. Yes, 2.5 pages. Yeah, it should be fine. And then we're gonna end the stream, though. And this is called the Battle of the Infernal Gates, Arunel's Second Rebellion. Happening in Taiagion. Written down by yours truly, of course. Whatever vile servants of the rot that crept upon the land could not withstand the power of the Old Ones and the elves alike, forcing these malevolent spirits, the Daigor, or demons, to plague the lands further south. The air and vast grasslands here became arid and dry upon their coming, and a few elven groups travelling here were lost to the demons, who took their bodies for themselves, flourishing on the despairing grounds they walked on. Forests were... oh wait, let me just... There we go, that's better. Oh, much better. Forests were felled not out of necessity, but out of joy for destruction that these wretched things craved. They hated mortals for being favoured so highly by the powers supreme, these splintered and lesser fragments of their own order. Yet their destruction was with a purpose, as they later would learn, for their master, Arunel, recommenced his own rebellion against the ethereal order and started the Second War in the Stars. For 1,000 years, the nights and days saw great lights sweeping in the sky, hitting each other as they met, and at times a great flood of them would clash with an oncoming one. Those loyal to Arunel now forever named Karach-Nafar. The lights were red of power, and those of the Supremes were bright golden. Karach-Nafar was captured by the Ethereal Order and brought to trial in the realm of the Father, the Valleys of Death. Within the halls of doom, added a little something there. That's better. Within the halls of doom, the Father looked upon his straight son, and saw the mar within was not his own, but it ran too deep. Lorias and Lusanfir voted mercy, for it was through Aronel that the fates of mortal kind were woven into rebirth after dying, despite the corruption of his ambition. While the two, Lusanfir and her chosen heralds, commanders of the Legion of Light, debated on the fate of Aronel, Mastamir led a cohort of the mightiest of the Daegor to the valleys, and broke free their leader from his cell. Aronel then proceeded to plunder his father's belongings, taking many shadows and souls too cruel for a birth. He then ordered the Daegor to break open the darkness that gloomed his father's domain, puncturing holes and letting starlight scorch the bleak realm while escaping. Many harvesters were burned in the confusion and panic, and they forever cloaked themselves in dark robes, or as terrible black hounds in their duties ever since. Miravor, which is the father, beheld the devastation on his realm, and cursed his son with a hatred that was so terrible that even Lorias and Lusanfir fled from the valleys of death. The second war in the stars became more destructive, and ended with the father stripped away many blooming worlds into damnation in his great anger, an act that made Lorias more bitter towards her spouse. I'm just going to stop here to explain two things. One, the father, Miravor, is death. Lorias, the mother, is life. There you go. You're up to speed. Miravor refused and forbade to use the name Aronel to mention his rebellious son, for it was too fair for such a craven heart. His black hounds forever hunted the Daegor for their master's heinous crimes, never resting in their duty. Lorias sent her seeders to repair Miravor's valleys, but he forbade it, for he knew the darkness grows back in time, and he needed this damage as a reminder for the fall of his son. Lusanfir, which is Aronel's sister, by the way, the daughter, if you will, Lusanfir rallied her Legion of Light and charged the gates of Arbora in zeal and song. For 300 years they besieged the great gates and let no evil thing pass, until they swung open, and the Lord of Rot himself stepped forward with his own wretched horde. Clad in the shadows of death he stole, and wore as a mantle, and captured his mother's starlight, which he bent into a crude, kingly crown. And so he proclaimed, "King of all within, that is what I am, weaver of fates and forger of rebirth which you usurped, star-child. I hold the will of creation, and even eternity bows to my whim. I declare our fates, as creation's doom will arise, when one of us is slain and all light dies. You will behold all you love wither with times to come, until you are bled dry by vengeance unseen. Come and die in vain, sister." Though her legion dare not challenge the abhorred son, Lusanfir stepped forward and remained undaunted on the dark foe that stood at the gates of fire, and countered. "Mercy our mother pleaded, and you may have of her. I want you to repent, brother mine. Did we not fight the ancient enemies of creation together? Did we not save the planes of mortal kind in our toils? You became the evil you once fought against, and it saddens me to see this lesser self of you. You come and face justice for your rotten crafts." From the shadow around him, Karachnathar then held aloft a terrible flail and struck the gilded shield of Lucenfer, beginning the battle of the Infernal Gates. Daigor and Ethereals rent each other asunder, but all stayed clear of the mighty battle between the Star Child and the abhorred Sun. Every time his flail struck the ground, a chasm of fire opened that wailed in damnation. Quakes would forever be there, known as the Tremors of Doom, and it rumbled through all of Arbora, save the innermost realms, his own domain. Her shield shattered when the flail found its mark the second time, and rendered her arm useless, but still she stood in defiance. Her blade steady, Lucenfer then pierced Karachnathar's arm, and he dropped his weapon in pain. Mastamir then sprang forth and stood between them, raising his three-pointed pike at Lucenfer, who urged him to repent for the corruption that was not his. Mastamir laughed and rebuked the offer, saying the only mercy he foresaw was a punishment by Miravor's judgment, a fact that Lucenfer could not deny to them both, swelling in tears. With a mighty cry sprang forth Mikal, High Captain of the Legion, and cut Mastamir's chest, pushing him in one of the fiery chasms from the Rotten Lord's flail. Burning, he crawled out and fled through the gates, now forever and horribly scarred by his own vanity. Old name, Karachnathar and Mikal then wrestled, each landing great blows on the other, until Mikal punched a crown into Karachnathar's skull, and held his head into the same fires that burned his servant before. Scorched and humiliated, he howled for the Daigor to come to his aid, and like a terrible dark cloud they swarm around their master, lashing out at Mikal, who shielded the weakened Lucenfer from their deep-cutting claws. With a thundering boom, the brightest light of all came. Ethereals bowed their heads to the ground, and Daigor were blinded. Lorias came to end the fight. There the Treaty of Ohm was then made. No sight may openly wage war for mortal kind was in bloom, and only when the time of a new creation came could they join the celestial authority in their right. Retreating into Arbora, Karachnathar yet devised that while he and Lucenfer were now barred from plane-shattering wars, mortal kind would serve a valuable proxy to spread his rotten ways in creation. Lucenfer lamented on how even though her brother grew cruel beyond anyone's guess, she still wished for him to be in the light once more, and hoped a glimmer of Arunel still remained within Karachnathar. Arbora would expand by absorbing the lifeless worlds that Miravor left in his wake, and the broken realms caught in the war. And there you have it, the Battle of the Infernal Gates, a small sample of the creation myth, condensed small sample of the creation myth, what was going on there. Penned down by yours truly, well, about 7 years ago or so. Ta-da! Still needs work, in my opinion. I'm my own worst critic, if you will. Definitely need to reword some stuff and sentences. Let me just put that in the description. There we are. If it read a little bit old and, if you will, biblical, that's very much the intent of it, because it's meant to be an ancient text. As I said, still, now that I've read it, actually, it still needs work. As I said, some things need to be changed. with the names. I don't know if you've noticed, but I was almost confused with my own naming of the villain here, but it's fine. Well then, with that I think we do have reached the end of the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We've had fun, we have addressed what is to come and how the channel will progress into autumn for now. Is there anything else that I may have forgotten? I think not. Sleepy Gamer, it was smashing, really. Thank you, Sleepy. I hope to hear more from you again. It's been a long while. I'm happy to see you in the chat, though. Jen, so it's a bit of a work in progress. Yes, it's very much a work in progress, believe me. I wish I could find beta readers to actually read the stuff that I've penned down from then and give me some more directions. I have someone that is helping me with that, by the way. But they are also very busy with their own lives. I'm not gonna push them to make way for my stuff, which is not even a priority to me. But yeah, there you go. I'm just gonna read up on chat, see if I've missed anything. Ash loved it. Duchess says thank you. Applause. Absolute cinema, says Nat. Well, where's the cinema? Well, I'm pretty sure if you would put it to screen, it looks pretty epic, but needs more details. Duchess of Darkness, who made your little Tommy? Ah, that is actually, wait, what's the name? Someone I contacted on Fiverr on recommendation by Lady Spucaria. Hold on, just a second. Because I do have a name in mind, but I don't want to say the wrong name here about who made the emojis for me. Ah, yeah, so on Fiverr, their name is 6 Stars. Very talented, they have a lot of experience in graphic arts. Highly recommended if you want your own chibis and emotes like that. Or, yeah, like a little duchy. I actually want to see that. Little duchy. That would actually be cool. Ash says mental cinema. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to retreat into my inner sanctum and rest for the day. It's over 1 AM at my place, and I do need to rest a little bit. And indeed, Lulu, we need the little duchies. I agree. We need to see little duchies. So then, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you're new here, consider subscribing and commenting, and visit the channel. Have a look at the playlists that I've made, and I hope you'll enjoy those as well, even more so than the live streams. Consider supporting the channel by becoming a channel member if you want to, and of course there's a Patreon page set up as well as a piggy bank. Nothing special there, but as I said, exclusive content is coming everyone's way there. And with that said, I bid you all a very fine adieu. And remember, don't fall asleep ever.